It's time for some real talk. How the f do you deal with yeast? How do I shave down there? Are one night stands okay? What period products should I use? When should I lose my virginity? Oh, we're really going there. Good morning, besties. Actually, I think it's the afternoon. Yeah, it is 2:05. Where has the day gone? Literally, where has the day gone? Anyway, today we are going to be having the ultimate girl talk. Nothing is off limits. Nothing is off the table. Holding back? Never heard of it. Let's pretend we're at a sleepover, or maybe I'm your big sister for the day. If you don't have a sister, or if you do have a sister, but it's like, we don't go there. Don't stress, I am now your big sister. I have adopted you. Welcome to the family. And today we are going to get into absolutely all of it. I'm also going to be giving you guys some life updates because it's been a hot minute since I filmed a life update video. I think my last one was April last year, and we are now in June of the following year. So there's a lot to catch you up on. So go grab a snack, grab a drink. I've made myself an iced decaf. I don't know if you can hear the sounds of the glass and the ice all banging together. Maybe I can give you a little ASMR. I can't really tell if that was ASMR or just annoying. I'm sorry if you can hear this clinking together. I probably should have gotten something a bit more practical, a bit more soundproof, but this is aesthetic and I am just a girl. So first, let's start with some girl talk questions. I asked you guys over on my Instagram to send me through some girl talk questions, some life update questions, and you guys did not hold back. Not that I wanted you to, but you guys did not hold back. So we're really going to be spilling the tea today. Please also remember to take everything that I say with a grain of salt. I am not a licensed professional. I am just a girl. I am just a girl going through the world the same as you, and I'm going to attempt to give you some advice, some tips for going through the world as well. Also, can you hear my squeaky chair? I need some WD-40 up in this. Anyway, let's jump into it. First question. Oh, we're really going there. Okie dokie. How the do you deal with yeast infections? Honestly, if you have a yeast infection, if you think you have a yeast infection, if you think you have anything of that degree, like an STD, go to a doctor. Go to a doctor. If you're thinking, oh my god, that's so f***ing embarrassing, like I don't want to tell them, please don't be embarrassed. Put your health first. Also, guys, side note, I'm so sorry, but look at this plant. Thriving at the top, thriving at the bottom, dying on the inside. Literally same. Like, look at this one leaf holding on for dear life. I could not relate more. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. If you feel like you might have an STD or a yeast infection or just something that isn't quite right down there, please go and see a doctor. It's not embarrassing. Health is not embarrassing. It's not embarrassing. In fact, embarrassment doesn't exist. You can only feel embarrassed if you let yourself feel embarrassed. And aside from that, health is wealth, baby. I care about you. Please look after yourself. You got this. What period products should I use? Honestly, you should use whatever you feel comfortable with. When I first got my period, I started with pads and then I moved pretty quickly onto tampons, to be honest. And I stuck with pads and tampons for ages. I would wear tampons during the day and then I would wear pads to go to sleep. Then I started using, what was it called? I think it was like a Diva cup or just a period cup. I used that for a while. I really liked it. I liked that it was reusable, so I felt like I was doing good by the environment. I was also saving money not having to buy period products. But then one day I freaked myself out by the idea of the cup getting stuck. I'm so sorry if you use a cup and you love it. Just like maybe skip past this, but I was so worried that when I took the cup out, it was gonna pull my whole insides out. Probably something I should speak to a therapist about. So I stopped using my cup. I went back to tampons, but something that I've been using recently, which is so good, are period underwear. I don't wear them during the day because I will say the ones that I have are a little bit bulky. I wear them if I'm at home, but if I'm like out, I don't. But I wear them to bed and they're so good. I have the Bonds brand. I do get them in a size 14. This is not sponsored, by the way, but I have them in a size 14. I typically wear a size 8 to 10, but I don't like them to be tight. Like, I get quite bloated around my period. So if you haven't tried period underwear, definitely give them a go because they're comfy and you can reuse them. So it's good for the environment and your bank account. But ultimately, use whatever you feel comfortable with. Don't feel pressured to try something new or feel like you have to use a certain product because of your age or because your friends are using them. It doesn't matter. Just use what feels right for you. How do I shave down there correctly? Okay, I don't know the best way ever to shave down there. I used to get laser hair removal and I will say that was the best time of my life because I didn't really have to worry about shaving down there. But one tip I have is don't shave up. Does that make sense? Because if you shave up, it's not a good time. You're better off going side to side. Got me walking side to side. Also, as a side note, if you don't want to get rid of your hair down there, you do not have to. Do not feel pressured by beauty standards, by your friends, by your family. That'd be kind of, not gonna get into that. What I'm saying is don't feel pressured to remove hair that's anywhere on your body. It is your body, your choice. If you like it, keep it. If you don't, get rid of it. There's no right or wrong way. Are one night stands okay? Yeah. For sure, of course. As long as you're being safe. As long as you're being safe, live your life, girl. Do your thing, but be safe. You know what I'm talking about. How do I become confident in my body? I wish there was a really easy answer. It's like you just do one thing and then everything is better and you never have to worry about it again. But I think feeling confident in your body it's a journey, and it's something that you have to work on your whole life, which is so rough. Like, I feel you. There's times where I don't feel confident in my body, but something I try to do is separate my self-worth from my appearance. And whenever I'm struggling, I just remind myself my worth is not based off of my appearance. I think also doing things that make you feel comfortable in your body can help as well. And one thing that I do that I highly recommend is unfollowing people on social media who make you feel bad about yourself. Oh my god, I just realized that I don't have any rings on and I kind of feel naked right now. BRB. Okay, I'm back. I just put 3 on so I feel a bit more like myself. But as I was saying, what was I saying? Oh yeah, unfollow people on social media who make you feel bad about yourself. They don't have to be doing anything wrong. Like, I have unfollowed so many people, not because of their personality or because they're a horrible person, but just because consuming their content, looking at how stunning and beautiful and perfect I think that they are, makes me feel bad about myself, and I don't need that energy in my life. And with that, follow people who make you feel good about yourself. There's so many creators out there whose content you can consume that will uplift you and make you feel more confident, more positive. So follow those kind of people and do things that make you feel good about yourself. Put yourself first, prioritize your well-being, and just remember that becoming confident in your body can be a journey. It's not a one-step solution. And be patient and kind with yourself. And also, fake it till you make it. I don't know if that's the best advice, but maybe not in this context, but you know what I mean. When should I lose my virginity? Is there a good age? You should lose your virginity when you feel ready to lose your virginity. There's not a magic age that's right for you to lose your virginity. You don't just wake up on your something birthday and are like, okay, let's go, I guess. You should lose your virginity when you feel comfortable, when you feel ready. Don't feel pressured by a person, by an age, friends, family. I keep saying family and I'm like, but you know what I mean. Pressured by anyone to lose your virginity. Do it when you feel ready. I personally think now that I'm 28, the longer that you wait until you feel ready, the better. But no tea, no shade, babe. Do what works for you. Advice on overcoming anxiety in relationships. I'm going to phone a friend. I'm gonna pass this back because I am an anxious person to my core, and this is something that I struggle with so much. So if you are watching this and you have any tips for overcoming anxiety in relationships, please comment them below. I would share how I deal with anxiety in my relationship, but I don't think it's necessarily healthy. It could potentially be not toxic, but just something that I need to speak about with my therapist. I don't feel like I would give the best advice. So guys, please comment below if you have tips for this. How do you deal with burnout? I don't, but I know how to. But actually dealing with it and overcoming it is not something that I am very good at. But I think the main thing to do when you're burnt out is to take a break. Take a break, look after yourself, rest, relax. You're a human, you're not a robot. You deserve to look after yourself, to rest, to relax. I'm saying this to you, but I'm also saying it to me because I am the queen of not dealing with my burnout. How to make friends as an adult. Making friends is so hard. Well, I know for me, it's really hard. I am a naturally introverted, shy, anxious person. I know it might not seem like that because I'm really confident talking to a camera, but I do struggle a lot with my anxiety and being shy and just feeling awkward. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I just feel awkward talking to people. Like, I'm not gonna get into it. It is a conversation for my therapist, but I think the biggest thing is putting yourself out there. If there's someone on the internet that you feel like you might connect with or you want to be friends with, send them a DM. I know I have done that a bunch of times and now I have some of my best friends. In fact, my friend Harriet did that to me. She sent me a voice memo and now we're best friends. So that's one way that you can make friends. Even signing up for a class, going to an event, just putting yourself out there, as hard as it is. And trust me, I know that it's hard. I can relate. if you're sitting there being like, girl, be so for real, I'm not able to put myself out there. Yes, you are. You can do it. We can do it together. Our goal for the second half of 2024, put ourselves out there and make a new friend. I've been recording for 20 minutes and I think I've had like 2 sips of this iced decaf. The ice has basically officially left the chat, but now it is time to get into some life updates. Why am I kind of nervous right now? You're just my friend. I'm just updating a friend, but I'm like, Okay, first question. How did you correct your gut health and how long did it take for you to notice a difference? I am still on my gut health journey. I wouldn't say my gut is completely healed right now. I have made significant improvement, but unfortunately, it is not completely back to what it was prior to it becoming bad. I actually had a really bad flare-up last night, and it was my first flare-up in, I think, a month, and I was so sad because I hadn't had a flare-up in a month. I was like, oh my God, everything's better. Everything's back to normal. But unfortunately, gut health is a journey. It's a process. It's not just like a one kind of thing that fixes it. How I corrected it though, or how I like started correcting it, how I started my journey was I had a naturopath reach out to me and I started working with her. I did a bunch of tests with her. I'm gonna have her information linked below. This is not sponsored, but I love her so much. She has helped me so much. She is the sweetest and kindest person, and she does in person, but she also does telehealth as well. So if you're like, oh, but like I don't live in Australia, I don't live in Melbourne, don't worry. So I'll have her stuff linked below. But I did a bunch of tests with her to kind of see what was going on. And then on top of that, I also went and saw a gastroenterologist. So long story short, I've just been working with the two to figure out what's been going on. In regards to tests, from what I remember, I did a full microbiome test. I did stool tests. I did an x-ray on my abdomen. I had the gastroenterologist like feel my whole entire body. I don't mean it like that, but I'm sure you know like what I mean. I had all the tests done on my blood to see what was going on. And then in regards to how long it took me to notice a difference, it's really hard because I would have a lot of good periods and then bad periods. But once I figured out one thing that was going on, I don't really feel too comfortable sharing exactly what it was. But once I figured out this one thing going on and I started implementing what I had to do to fix it, I noticed a massive difference in like 2 weeks. It was insane. But yeah, if you're struggling with gut issues, I feel you. It is the worst. It's the worst. I feel you so much, but I highly recommend seeing a naturopath and then also seeing a gastroenterologist. Like I said, I'll have my naturopath linked below. And then in regards to a gastroenterologist, I just had to go and see my GP and ask for a referral. Can you please give us a tinnitus update? Guys, I am about to celebrate my 2 years of having tinnitus. My tinnitus started June 30, 2022, and today it is June 13th, 2024. So I've had her for nearly 2 years now. I don't know if she's getting any better or I'm just getting better at not noticing her. It's definitely still there, but I barely notice it. It really doesn't affect my day-to-day life a lot. The only times I really notice it are when someone brings it up. Like now I can hear it because I'm thinking about it, but the only other time I can really hear it is when I'm in a quiet room, which I'm not ever really. Cal and I go to sleep with rain sounds and I'm always talking to myself if I'm alone. So something that I do to try and help with it is just stay away from quiet spaces. But yeah, she's still around. I've just learned to live with her because unfortunately there is nothing that I can do about it. I don't know if I've told you on here. I'm sure I have, but I did do an MRI on my brain and an MRI on my neck to see if there was anything going on, and it came back completely fine. So there's not really much else I can do. I have a theory that it is potentially linked to my gut health, but I don't want to get into that because I don't want you to think I'm a crazy person. Okay, next one is just marriage plans. We have no plans to get married. I don't know if that sounds harsh. I feel like even when I say it, it sounds like it's a negative thing when it's not. You don't have to get married if that's not something you want to do. Cal and I talk about this a lot. We will get married, but we won't have the full traditional wedding. Like our dream is to just go to Vegas and get married and get really cool photos in the desert, and then maybe just have like a small celebration back in Australia with some friends and family. I think that would be fun. I have said that I want to be engaged. Like I want to have a really good proposal. I feel like that's just fun, and like having a ring is fun, but it's not a priority to me. I really don't care, to be honest. I have so many other dreams and goals and things that I want to do and accomplish more more than I want to be married. I could go my whole life not being married and I wouldn't mind. But Cal and I are like, yeah, why not? Like, it'll be fun. I also want my proposal to be a surprise. So if for some reason you guys think like, oh, I think Cal's gonna like propose to us, shut up, shut up, keep it to yourself. I don't know why, but I really want my proposal to be a surprise. Oof, I feel like this one kind of makes sense to be next. Why don't you want kids? Will that ever change? Honestly, I just don't. I don't really have a better answer for you. I have just never wanted kids. I was not the girl when I was younger who wanted to grow up and have a family and get married and buy a house. And this is no tea, no shade to the girls and the people who had that experience and still want that life. I've just never wanted it. It's not something that I've dreamt about from a young age or something that as I've gotten older I've wanted. I always wanted to have a partner and someone by my side that I could go through life with, but I've just never wanted kids. Will that ever change? I don't know. Maybe I'll wake up tomorrow and be like, you know what? I think I want to have a kid. But I will say I definitely need to go through a lot of therapy before I even consider having a child, because there's a lot of things I gotta fix going up here. But yeah, Cal and I are very open about this. We talk about this all the time. Same with the marriage thing as well. I'm not just coming on here and like airing out all this information and Cal's sitting there like, the f. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll have a kid. Maybe I won't. Stay tuned. Subscribe to find out. How is your editing business going? Oh, thank you so much for asking. It's going so well. I'm so happy. I'm not sure what the last update I gave you guys was, but I have 3 editing clients right now. 2 of them are for YouTube channels and 1 is for Instagram, and they're all going really well. I have also had some meetings about some more potential clients. I have the capacity to take on 1 to 2 more depending on what kind of editing they're after. So that's been exciting. And yeah, it's just going really well. I'm really happy with it. I'm happy that I found something that I wanted to do, because for a long time I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, there's a couple more questions that kind of relate to this. How did you get into editing as a career? I think this is a cute story, but when I met my friend Harriet for the first time, she told me she was a YouTuber, but she also was a freelance editor. And I was like, how? Because that's something that I would love to do. I always had in the back of my mind, like, oh, it'd be so cool to be a video editor for other YouTubers, but like, I don't know how that works. And I'm kind of like happy just running my channel. You know, you just kind of like put those things in the back of your mind. Usually I don't. Usually I like really go for my dreams, but I don't know. I just kind of filed that back and was like, no. But she told me that she was an editor, and I kind of was just asking her questions like, how did you get started? Like, how do you do this? And then she helped me so much with getting my first client, getting into it. So I really have her to thank. I love her so much. If you're watching this, Harriet, I love you with my whole heart. But yeah, that's how I got started in my editing career. If you're interested in becoming a video editor, Harriet actually made a really good YouTube video that showcases what it's like to be an editor and also how to get started as well. So I will have that linked below. Definitely check that out. She's truly the MVP, man. Would you ever do YouTube full time? Probably not, if I'm gonna be completely honest. Actually, I go back and forth all the time on this because I love doing YouTube, obviously, or I wouldn't do it. But I also love editing for other people and just being a part of something that's bigger than myself. Like, my YouTube channel is all about me, and I'm not complaining. I set it up like that. Like, I am a lifestyle YouTuber because I want to be a lifestyle YouTuber, but it can be very overwhelming having my whole entire income and I guess to some degree like passion reliant on myself and people liking me. Like, if people don't watch my videos, if you guys don't watch my videos because you don't like me anymore, I then don't get paid, and it just kind of like, I don't think that's good for my mental health. But maybe in the future, if my YouTube blows up and I'm loving it and I can kind of set it up in a way where I don't have to feel so like stressed over the idea of my content doing well and that kind of stuff, I'm not really sure. Maybe then I would do YouTube full time. Maybe if I had the capacity to hire people to be on my team and I wouldn't be doing everything by myself. But for now, I'm really happy with doing YouTube and also doing my freelance editing. It's just like a really, really good mix for me, especially for my mental health. Last question. I knew this would be in here because I kind of went a little ghosty on this. Are you still moving to Canada or overseas? Maybe. Maybe? I feel like maybe is like the only answer I can give you right now. We are in the pool. Like, our PR application for Canada, PR is permanent residency, is still in progress. We are in the pool of applicants and we're waiting to get pulled out to then apply. But it has honestly become our lowest priority of things that we are kind of aiming to achieve, or like goals that we want to achieve. I would love to live in Canada again, but I don't know, I kind of love living in Melbourne at the moment, and I love the idea of potentially going and living in other places, or not even living, maybe just traveling other places for a couple of months at a time, rather than just uplifting our whole entire life and moving to Canada. The reason that I say maybe is because I do see Cal and I in our future, and we've spoken about this, like living in Canada again. So it makes sense for us to keep going with our PR application because we do want to live in Canada again, but it's not our top priority. Like if our PR didn't get approved until 5, 6, 7 years down the track, that would be completely fine with us because our goals for our life in the next couple of years have changed. I hope that makes sense. I'm sorry I kind of ghosted on that, but also I'm kind of not sorry. I just really needed to process that myself, and Cal and I needed to process that together so we can be like a united front, make sure we're on the same page. That's something that's really important to us. So yeah, I'm still sorry that I kind of ghosted on that because I was like, we're moving to Canada. And then I just basically ghosted the idea. Okay, I think this is a good place to end it. If you guys do have any more questions, whether they're girl talk questions or just life update kind of questions, feel free to comment them below. If you don't feel comfortable commenting them in a public space though, like I totally get it. Feel free to DM me on Instagram. Not gonna lie, I am not the best at replying to my Instagram DMs, but I am making it a goal for myself to get better. So feel free to send me a DM. Oh my god. I just put my phone on my phone stand. Well, apparently I didn't put it on my phone stand properly because it just completely fell. Also, I still have this much of my ISD cuff. Love that for me. Also, if you've watched this far and you haven't subscribed, you should definitely subscribe because we're basically best friends at this point. We are also so close to 40K, which is absolutely crazy because at the start of the year, we hadn't even hit 20K. So if you haven't subscribed, you should definitely subscribe. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!